So we're going to start with just a review of basic adding fractions. So if we have, let's say, 2/3 plus 1/3, if the denominators are the same, we keep the denominator and we just add the numerators. So then this would be 3/3 or 1, okay? If the denominators are not the same, like 2/5 plus 1/3, then we need to find the lowest common denominator. So that's the smallest number that both of these go into. So in this case, the smallest number that 5 and 3 both go into, or in other words, the smallest number that can be divided by both 5 and 3 evenly, is 15. So my lowest common denominator, or least common denominator, is 15. So then we have to think, what do I need to do here to make this a 15? Well, I'm going to multiply this by 3/3. And I'm going to multiply this one by 5/5. Okay, now this is just a fancy way of writing 1. 5 divided by 5 is just 1. So we're not actually changing the value of this fraction, we're only changing the appearance of it. That's really important to understand. So this is going to be 6/15 plus 5/15, right? 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 5 is 15, 1 times 5 is 5, 3 times 5 is 15. Now the denominators are the same, so I keep that, and then I add the numerators. 6 plus 5 is 11. So there's my answer. Okay. Let's try another one. What if I have 5/6 plus 4/9? So my lowest common denominator is 18. So that is the smallest number that both 6 and 19 can go into. A way that you can find this is if we factor these. So the prime factors here are 2 times 3, and here it's 3 times 3. So I need a number that has 2 3's in it, and this 3 and this 3 could be the same, but I need a 2. So 2 times 3 times 3. I don't feel like that was very clear, so let me show you. My least common denominator is going to have a 2 and a 3. That would make 6. I already have a 3 for this one, but I need another 3 for 9. So to be divisible by 9, it has to have 2 3's in it, and to be divisible by 6, it has to have a 2 and a 3 in it. So 2 times 3 times 3 is 18. Okay. This is pretty convoluted when you're doing these, but when we get to the harder ones, you'll see why this understanding is important. Alright, so then we can multiply this by what's missing. Well, I'm missing 1/3, right? I said 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. Here I have a 2 and a 3, but I still need a 3. Right, 3 times 6 is 18. And here I have my 2 3's, but I need a 2. So I'm going to multiply by the pieces that are missing, leaving, but making sure that this is just a fancier version of 1, right? So I'm not changing the value. So then 3 times 5 is 15, 3 times 6 is 18, plus 4 times 2 is 8, 9 times 2 is 18, 15 plus 8 is 23/18. I can't simplify because 23 is a prime number, so there's nothing I can do to simplify. I'm not worried at all about this being an improper fraction, so I'm just going to leave it just like that. Okay, so that's just basic adding a fraction.